Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your dark mask diva. How's everyone doing tonight? Alright, so I wanted to talk about people asking nosy questions. Okay? Here's the deal. People basically ask nosy questions so they can say rude things to you. Okay? And people are asking you nosy questions also so they can say sexual things to you. So they want to say rude things to you because they want to put you down. They also want to make sexual advances. Alright, so personally, I don't want people to say rude things to me. Okay, and I also don't want them to make sexual advances. So, and also, let's just keep it real. I don't want people in my business. Alright, so this is basically what you do because people will come up and they will just start asking you personal questions and just strange things, and you'll be like, why is this person being so inquisitive? And sometimes it's a very old person, or it's a person from a culture that's not yours, or it's a child, or it's just someone where you're like, why is this person even talking to me? Let's keep it real. You're like, what do they want? And you're not really sure what they want. So you answer the questions because you're so taken aback and you're not sure what they want. Well, what they want is to be inappropriate. But you're answering the questions because you're so puzzled by, you're just kind of intrigued by, why are they asking me all these questions and what exactly do they want? So you are answering the questions because you're like, get to the punchline. What is it that you're getting at? So you're answering the questions because you're like, come on, what's this leading to? So you don't really understand what they're doing until it's too late. So you kind of you don't really mean to answer all the personal questions until it's too late, and then they say something really inappropriate to you, and you're like, I can't believe I was even talking to this person in the first place. And it happens to the best of us, and we've all been in situations where I really wish I hadn't been talking to this person. Okay, and it usually happens when you're just kind of waiting for a bus, or you're in the store or something like that. It happens when you're just out in public and a stranger starts talking to you, and the stranger is just some weird random stranger. Okay, so I'm going to talk about commonplace situations like this. Okay, so say like you're a lady of any particular age, and some guy says, may I ask your age, my dear? You know, and usually, you know, he doesn't usually have a voice like that, but let's just say that he does. And you'll say, you don't need that information, sir. Okay, now why would he be asking your age? Men ask women's age so they can ask us out. Why do they also ask our age? So they can judge our value. That's why they do that, guys. So they can judge our value. Okay, well, you know, if she's old, they want an experience with an older woman. Well, if she's young, they want to see how dumb we are. Okay, so they want to see how young and dumb you are, or they want to see how old you are so they can have an experience with an older woman. Okay, they want to see how much respect they need to give you, or how dumb you are so they can get one over on you. Okay, or they want to have some sexual fantasy with an older woman. For any reason, they are trying to ask you out. Instead of just having some normal conversation with you and treating you with respect like a human being. Okay, they can't just talk to you and be like a normal person. They have to ask your age and not just be a regular decent human being. They're like, okay, well, we have to figure out how old she is before we figure out if we need to respect her or not. Let's see how dumb she is. Okay, so anyway, they're trying to figure this out, or, ooh, is she an older woman? I like older women, you know, that kind of thing. You guys know how I feel about that, right? You've seen my other videos. You know, like, oh, Beavis, she's an older woman. You'll see her thingies. You know how I feel about that, guys. You know I like to make fun of that kind of stuff, right? So, okay, so I'm in a relationship, and I don't need to be employed. I work for myself. I do my own thing. So nobody really needs to know my age, unless you're my doctor. Okay? You don't need to know my age. I'm in a relationship, so you don't need to ask me out. You also don't need to know my age. There's no reason you really need to know my age, okay? So if somebody asks my age, there's no reason for them to have that information. So unless I'm in the doctor's office, it's none of your business. Okay. So usually someone will say that, I'll say old enough. Like I'll joke around if someone asks a question like that, and I'm in a group of friends, I'll laugh and go, old enough, old enough to know better, or, ha ha ha, but if someone says something like that, I'll say, you don't need that information, sir. I'm in a relationship. Well, I was just wondering. Well, you can keep wondering. That's really none of your business. I'm sorry if I offended you. I go, well, you can stop offending me and stop asking. And they need to just drop it. And I'm going to tell you something right now. It's a really impolite question, because if that person needs to know that you're taken, and so they need to stop asking your age. Okay, and if they go, well, I was just wondering if you're my mother's age. I don't see your mother here. Don't stop trying to infer that I'm old. Why don't you just go away now? You just need to tell them to go kick rocks after that. Or if they're trying to, because I've had people where I've told them to stop asking me my age, and then they keep trying to ask and keep trying to ask, or I was just wondering if you're younger than me. Well, you need to just drop the age thing right now. But they're really just trying to size you up sexually. That's really what they're trying to do. They're not trying to find out anything but your sexual value. They're trying to have some kind of sexual fantasy about you. That's why they want to know your age. Okay? That's the only reason men want to know your age, is because of your sexual value to them. All right? They want to have an older woman fantasy, or they want to know if you're young and dumb and they want to get something over on you. That's the only reason men want to know your age. Okay, they can come up with whatever reasons, but that is the only reason they want to know. Okay, now if you are, you need to let somebody know that if you are younger or older than 18, yeah, that's okay to tell people that you're not jailbait. Okay? That's okay to answer that. But if you're, over 18, and I think you guys know I am, yeah, I'm a mature woman in a relationship. I don't need to tell people my age. Now, sometimes you can go and lie about your age. I do that all the time. Unless I'm in the doctor's office, I do tell people I'm an age that I'm not. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. And I just tell them that because, why not? It's sometimes okay if you're a lady not to tell the truth about your age, if you want people to stop asking. And then you just let it go. Because you don't want people to have accurate information about personal things about you. So you can say that you're an age that you're not. Whether you want to say it's older or younger or whatever it happens to be, just so people don't have personal information about you. Another thing is, don't give people your real name. Give people a nickname. Don't give people your real name. You don't want people in your business. You don't want people trying to look you up. You don't want people asking questions about you. That kind of thing. Okay? So you don't like stuff like that. People asking personal questions. Don't ask ladies what their real hair color is. I hate when guys go, "Is pink your natural hair color?" I go, yes it is. Mm-hmm. Because you shouldn't ask women questions like that. If their traits are natural or not. You're asking rude personal questions. Okay. Now, if I have to tell you why that's a a rude question. I don't want to have to get into it. It's a rude personal question. Okay, don't ask things like that. Okay, if somebody says, "Can I ask you a personal question?" Whether you're male or female, just say, "No, you may not." Okay, do I need to tell you why you need to say that to them? Because the next question is coming is an inappropriate, rude personal question. Can I ask you a personal question? Or can I ask you a question? No, you may not. Why do you think they're prefacing that with "may I ask you a question"? Because it's something they shouldn't be asking you. But they're asking you permission to be rude. May I ask you a question? No, you may not. They're expecting you to say yes. So throw them a curveball and say no, you may not. And they're going to, "Well, I was just going to ask you this." Well, I just told you not to. I don't like people asking me questions. And you just asked if you could ask one, and I told you not to. So you need to take directions. I thought I made it clear I didn't want you asking me the question. Well, I was just gonna... Well, don't. And then you're going to make it clear that they need to back off. Okay, so I think you need to know that people need to know you're not the one. Don't ask you personal questions. Because you do not need to tell people your business. Your business is your business. That's why it's called your business. Okay? You do not owe people personal information. You do not. Okay? So, another thing. If you're sitting somewhere and someone goes, "Can I sit next to you?" Tell them no. Alright? Because, what if they have COVID or something? They're asking, "Can they sit down next to you?" What if they start doing something completely gross? Tell them no. And set something down next to you, or just tell them no. You don't have to tell them why they can't. Just tell them no. Because I said yes to someone one time, and he sat there and tried to hit on me the whole time. And I turned around and looked behind me, and there was nobody behind us for like several seats. He just wanted to sit next to me and try to hit on me the whole time. And I thought the bus was crowded, and I wasn't even paying attention. He just sat there and tried to hit on me the whole bus ride. And I was like scared this whole time. And I was just like, oh my God. I mean, the situation was really awkward, and I was scared. But I gave him permission to sit down next to me. So next time someone says, "Can I sit down next to you?" I'm going to say no. Okay? So don't give permission to ask questions or let people sit down next to you. Let people know that your age is not their business. Some kind of physical trait. Stuff like that. Anytime someone asks you where you work, say you work for the government, scare them a little bit. Make them go, "Oh." So they might get this weird feeling like you have a secret on them or something. Make them a little uncomfortable. Say CIA or something. Say something really, really weird. Say something that makes them really uncomfortable. Or just say, "I work at home." Or just say something really vague. Just say, "I kind of do my own thing." Don't give them any information. Okay? Don't give them any, "Well, how do you like it?" It's okay. You might turn around and start asking them a bunch of personal questions. Put them in the hot seat. And start rapid firing the questions at them. What you want to do is when people do stuff like that, start making them very uncomfortable. Start asking them a bunch of personal questions so they stop asking you and they start answering a bunch of questions about themselves. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is get people talking about themselves to where you're not giving them any information whatsoever about yourself, and they are spilling the beans, the tea, and everything else about themselves, and you're making them extremely uncomfortable and making them not want to be around you, and you're getting a bunch of personal information out of them. Okay, because that's when you are in a position of power. Okay, and they are either going to give you all their personal information, or they're going to want to get away from you. So you're going to win either way, and you are going to have the upper hand in the situation. Okay, and either that, or they're going to think you're an amazing conversationalist, because people basically like to talk about themselves, and they like when people are paying them attention. So, but what you want to do in most situations is not let anyone get personal information about you, because what they're basically being a predator. Okay, people will do that. They will zoom in on you because they're attracted to you. They're a pervert. They're jealous of you. They're trying to make fun of you because they're jealous of you. Okay, they're a weirdo. They're just from another culture where it's okay to be nosy and ask people nosy questions and then criticize you. No, some cultures are like that, where they think it's okay to pick on a younger person or someone they think is younger than them, and then criticize whatever you told them about yourself. They see you and they're trying to marry you off to one of their relatives. I'm not making this up. Some people are just nosy and have nothing better to do. Some people don't like themselves, so they just want to bug you and make you feel bad about yourself. Some people do not have good personalities. But anytime someone says, "May I ask you a question?" say no. Anytime someone says, "Hi, how are you today?" "Fine, thank you, and yourself?" Always put the conversation back on other people. Okay? You get people talking about themselves, they forget whatever they were going to ask you. Okay? In situations, you always want to find out more about the other person and not let them find things out about you. Alright, because if, that's how you're going to have the upper hand in every single situation. Okay? Do not let them be in your physical space. Remember, physical space is arm's length, okay? Don't let them get in your physical space. You're going to want to start stretching and doing things to, you're going to want to spread your body out to where they're going to have to move their body away from you. You're going to want to get up and walk away. Okay? They're going to try to get as physically close to you as possible and intimidate you. Okay? They're going to want to try to find some way for their body to touch your body. Their knees to touch your knees if you're on the bus. Their feet to touch your feet if you're on the bus. They're going to try to get near you. People are going to try to stare at you. Okay? People try to intimidate you all the time by staring at you. Don't be afraid to give someone the stink eye. Alright? I used to get intimidated when people stared at me all the time. Like, guys try to stare at me and flirt with me. I just give them dirty looks. Like, one of those mean girls at school. How everyone goes, "Oh, pretty is as pretty does." Well, he's obviously staring at me and thinking I'm too pretty. I'm going to give him a dirty look. Okay, it's okay to give people dirty looks when they're making you uncomfortable. Alright? And it's not okay to make somebody uncomfortable because you find them attractive. Give somebody a dirty look. It's okay. You don't need to accommodate people who are making you uncomfortable. They are making you uncomfortable. So, don't be afraid to get up and move. That person's a creep. know they're a creep. If they're asking you personal questions and you don't know them. They zeroed in on you because there's something wrong with them upstairs, okay? There's something sick about them and they're attracted to you. So, deflect. Remember, the world's full of weirdos, and they all have questions, and you don't want to answer any of them. It's okay not to be nice. In fact, you don't want to. Stop giving people permission to disrespect you. All right, otherworldlies? I love you all, and you all have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.